Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
Kenny and Volpe as Donaldson cranks that. Back in Oakland, going yard.
Today is Tuesday, June 27th, and it was the beginning of a road trip as the Yankees headed out west to take on the Oakland Athletics. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Oh, I wish I was on that submarine. Welcome back, everybody. This was bad. I feel bad for the people who are waking up and finding out that the Yankees lost to the A's tomorrow morning. But I feel even worse if you, like me, watched this game. That was a tough one. I mean, the A's entered this game 40 games under 500. That offensive performance was about 2 beats down from not having enough guys show up to play the game and having to forfeit. That was rough. Yankees used their entire bench tonight and still could not beat the A's or manufacture a single run. The only run was on the Josh Donaldson home run, a guy who we thought was going to get DFA'd like 2 days ago.
I'm an average nobody.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a late night edition of NYY Recaps. We are going to buzz through this one because 3 runs scored. It's 12:20 in the morning. I don't want to keep my mods up for this, but it was weird watching a game at 9:40 at night, and it felt like an afternoon game because of the time of year it is and the West Coast trip. The days are getting shorter again, but we're only about a week out from the longest day of the year, and so it still stays, bright, pretty far into the evening. And it's just a weird feeling, 9:40 at night, and you're watching what looks like a day baseball game. Just kind of throws my whole evening off, throws my equilibrium off. I couldn't even wear a hat tonight. I'm all messed up, man. This game just messed me up. But if you're not one of those people who stays up to watch the West Coast games, you should probably watch one of the next several that the Yankees play out here because they're not going to be playing in Oakland for much longer. Apparently, Ken Rosenthal and Joel Sherman, they're both reporting that it's essentially a done deal that the A's will be moving to Las Vegas. I'm not sure if they're going to remain called the A's, but in general, I think it's a good move, and I agree with the move. I don't travel a lot, but I absolutely love going to Las Vegas. I've spent a lot of time in Vegas. It appeals to my ADD, the lights and the buzzers and people walking around in costumes and, oh, look, there's a guy throwing up and, it's fun. You got, people, it's fun to watch people go into the hotel like super confident, walking in like, yeah, I'm going to take Vegas, baby. I'm going to leave here a rich man. And then you see the same frat boy, 2 days later, begging for change outside the hotel. It's funny. It's, Vegas is an interesting place. It's like a giant robot alien pooped a city in the middle of the desert. That's what it looks like to me. But yeah, they still don't get many fans. 13,000 in attendance tonight. Frankie Baseball had the tweet of the night. He said that there were more people in his living room than in the Oakland Coliseum. I thought that was pretty funny. I kind of agree with the decision to move this team. I mean, you got San Francisco right there. They've got a beautiful ballpark. They win championships. And you got Oakland, who has done nothing really in a long time. And the stadium's falling apart. Just go to a different city, inject some new life into the major leagues. Have a fun ballpark. It'll be a good thing, I think. I feel bad for A's fans, but Vegas isn't that far away. And if you're just dying for baseball, you can go to the San Francisco Giants. But there was a time when you could, if you don't like the American League game with the DH, you could root for the National League, or if you don't like the National League game, you could root for the American League. So, having an AL and an NL team in the same Bay Area, gave you options. But now that there's, it's essentially no difference between the AL and the NL, I mean, just get one team. We don't need two teams out there. All right, let me recap this game because it's late, and I know that you guys are tired. I'm tired. Johnny Brito was on the mound. He was nasty last time out. Tonight, he was solid, was not great, but the offense didn't help him at all, obviously. Oakland did put a runner on in the first inning, and Jose Trevino promptly picked him off. Second time he's done that in the past week. If he could hit, he'd be perfect. A's jumped out in front in the bottom of the third inning. Tyler Wade actually hit a triple and then scored on a single by Ruiz, who also stole his 40th base, but then Trevino caught him trying to take third base for his 41st steal, and that ended the inning. So not a smart play by that guy, but 40 steals at this point is impressive. Early on, it looked like Volpe was going to have 40 steals at this point, and obviously he has slowed down his pace, but he actually got caught for the first time tonight. A's got another run on a solo home run in the fourth to go up 2-zip, and then Josh Donaldson answered back with a solo shot to left field. No doubter, 423 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat. There's no question he still has power. That has not been the question. The question is, can he hit consistently? And I guess we're going to find out because they're going to play him, but it wouldn't shock me if when Peraza is back and healthy, he hasn't played much in about a week or so, if he's ready to go and Donaldson's still not hitting, I think Donaldson's time with the Yankees will end. There was a spot in the top of the fifth inning that kind of ticked me off. So Volpe picked up a line drive single, and Volpe had a good night, but you're down by one run, you got one out, and Volpe has second base stolen on the first pitch. But Trevino at the plate took an emergency hack for some reason, and Volpe ended up stuck on first base. He had it stolen. You just got to let him steal right there. It's just annoying baseball. It's not smart baseball. Brito was done after 5 2/3. He gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts through 81 pitches. I thought he pitched well enough to win, but the offense didn't bail him out, so he takes the loss. Volpe had another hit to right field in the 7th, but as we mentioned, he got thrown out trying to steal second base. I think it was a second baseman or shortstop, I can't remember, had his knee in front of the bag, and Volpe would have gotten in there if the guy didn't block the bag, but the umpire, they reviewed it, and they didn't reverse the call, so they must have thought it was okay. Yanks put 2 runners in scoring position via walks in the top of the 8th, but Giancarlo bounced out to end the inning.
He can't hit for nothing.
And then Torres pinch hit for Jake Bowers in the top of the 9th, led things off with a single. Donaldson struck out looking. McKinney flied out to right field. Then Volpe beat out an infield hit, his 3rd hit of the night. His batting average now is .203, so he is, up off the interstate finally. But then the final out was made. Kyle Higashioka struck out, and the Yankees drop a very, very winnable and very, very embarrassing game to the sorry Oakland A's.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Shit. Here we go again.
Tabor Talk says you can't get on Donaldson tonight. Only offense. You're right. I can't, and I won't. I mean, this is on everybody else. We can look at the box score. We'll just skip right to that portion of the show this evening. And let's watch the highlights. This was the throw by Trevino. That was a nice pick thrown behind the runner at first. This was the bloop single to score the first run for the A's. It was Tyler Wade on third base. Tyler Wade had an interesting night at shortstop. He's about the worst shortstop I've ever seen. This was the home run to make it 2-0 A's, and then Donaldson answers back, but it was not enough for the Yankees. All right, so looking at this, Yankees did get 7 hits, but again, 2 of them were in the 9th inning. LeMahieu, another tough night, 0 for 3, hitting .227. Falefa actually came in the game, played second base for the first time as a Yankee. Bader, 0 for 4 tonight. Rizzo, 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Stanton, 0 for 4. He is hitting .184. $184 for Giancarlo Stanton, making 23 some odd million from the Yankees and a bunch of money from the Marlins. Bauer's 1 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. He's hitting .225. Torres pinch hit and picked up a base hit. Donaldson 1 for 4. McKinney 0 for 4. Volpe 3 for 4. Trevino 0 for 2. And both Cabrera and Higashioka took the collar 0 for 1 respectively, each, whatever. And still a lot of guys hitting under 230 or so. Brito didn't pitch bad. ERA is at 4.7. Ramirez was okay. Canley, scoreless 7th inning, I guess. And then Peralta scoreless 8th inning. So, as Joe Girardi would say, it's not what you want. And Medina says this offense seems to be getting worse. You're not wrong. Diana Stunnis says pathetic baseball. Again, apologies to all the people who are waking up tomorrow and experiencing what is certainly not an upbeat NYY Recaps episode. Alex Valerio says, not sure how the vibe is in the team, but JD sat alone in the dugout a lot. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into that. I mean, he just seems like a walking hemorrhoid anyway. He's just not a very likable person. I mean, the whole like Jackie thing last year and just being like, in general, he just seems like a prick. And so I wouldn't read much into that, related to baseball. Just in general, probably nobody likes him. Star Killer says the Yankees are now 0-6 when Donaldson hits a home run. I knew it was over the minute he hit it. C. Granty 29 says, is Greg Allen ever coming back? So he had a quad injury, but he was going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, according to Aaron Boone. So we're looking at August probably before we see him again. Jack Wagner bringing up an interesting mathematical note. Stanton and Donaldson are about 1/6 of the Yankees payroll. Not what you want. Guillermo says, Derek, I love you, but you look like shit. It's 12:30 in the morning, man, and this is why I usually wear a hat. I'm tired. This is sitting through that game was physically painful. It was like being at the dentist office. Bernie Cerrito says, why does Cabrera slide his leg like he is Soto? I don't think he's trying to be Soto. I think it's just something that some guys do. Different people take pitches in different ways. And some people, as they're drifting, they leave the hands back and then they just let their body go forward, their lower half. And so it's called the Soto shuffle or whatever, but I've seen a lot of people do that over the years. Jack Rebus says the 21-60 Oakland A's just held the Yankees to 1 run. This team is a joke.
A what?
A joke. Ton says Stanton should get shipped to Cali. I think the Dodgers are the only team that would take him, but the Yankees would have to eat an enormous amount of payroll, and I don't think they would do it until after they didn't get Ohtani. And I think they are going to get Ohtani, the Dodgers. And the reason would be because, they've been clearing payroll essentially to sign Ohtani. Ohtani's going to get $500 million, $600 million, something like that. And so, they're trying to make enough room for him. If he ends up signing somewhere else, re-signing with the Angels or whatever, the Dodgers might have some money to play with, and they might decide to bring in a star. But, nobody's going to give you anything for a guy who's hitting 184 and can't run and can't field. Gabrielle Flores says, what is seriously wrong with Stanton? I mean, my God. I don't know. I mean, he just looks done, man. Physically, he looks done. Pamela Davis says, this is the Joey Gallo curse. And then the Chris Cali says, what happens if we get swept? I promise you the sun will rise and things will go on. But I will be in a bad mood. That's what will happen. And it will definitely be a rant session. Yankees Farm, great YouTube channel, great Instagram follow, says, Yankees offense putting up 1 run versus the worst pitching staff in baseball, on par for this team. Look, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then Joe Man says, Dodgers don't need him. They have JD Martinez. You're right. I mean, look, there's not a lot of places where Stanton would accept a trade. The only reason I say the Dodgers is because he's from that area, and he had said in the past that he would accept a trade there. Now, Dodgers have made some crazy trades in the past. You know, they took on like Adrian Gonzalez and David Price and so on and so forth. So they're not afraid to take on some money to get a star. But I don't see Giancarlo having that kind of star power anymore because he hasn't had a full season in a few years. And he really is a fraction of the player he once was. He's not even really that much of a threat at the plate right now. I mean, pitchers are just going right after him. 0-for-4. 184 batting average, 621 OPS. That is not going to get it done.
Game over, man. Game over.
I gotta get out of here.
Lord Raiden says, Stanton or Manoah? Who fell off harder? Manoah allowed 11 earned runs in a single A game today. Not what you want.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
William M. says the 98 team would have won 18-2 tonight.
Most impressive.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about one of the best teams of all time versus one of the worst. That's not really a huge stretch. I mean, the Yankees team is no comparison to that 98 squad. If anybody who saw that 98 squad could tell you, it's just a different vibe, different energy. Stadium felt different. Whole world was different. That was a fun summer, though. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up early because this one was no fun. And as Guillermo said, I look like shit. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.